So we do the song and the song I go and go do a video in Jamaica. You know, I get to look.
Yeah,
Who come up with the melody? Boom, boom, shit, who come up with
Me,
that,
man. See,
I hear a different story, Mr. Vegas.
listen, you're not hearing no different story.
No, I do.
You're not hearing a different
Does
story.
the name Garth Bennett ring any bells, Mr. Vegas?
He's the guy that came up with this idea. He came to the studio one day as a joke and said, "Hey guys, no, I've decided I'm going to be a dancehall artist." They're like, "Okay, Garth, what is this now?" And he's like, "No, man, I have a bad tune. And I said, "What's the tune?" He's like, "Trilla la 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 boom boom chile. I man want a hot girl today." Trilla like that, like a joke.
But in all honesty, somebody walk into the studio that night and said something.
Because it was said that he came up with
The person said something.
Yes, and then you say,
100%. So now that you said it,
The ongoing tension/feud between Sean Paul and Mr. Vegas started over a song called Hot Girl Today, in which both sides have conflicting stories as to what happened. But Mr. Vegas talked about the origin of the song with the Fix podcast, where Naro challenged Mr. Vegas as to the credibility of his story. Also, producer Jeremy Hardin, on an interview with the Entertainment Podcast, also refuted Mr. Vegas' story. Bless up, and welcome back to Entourage Dancehall Review. If you are new via here, please consider subscribing. Turn on your post notification bell so whenever I make a new upload, you can be the first to be notified. And I want to thank everybody coming over to the channel here and keep on to support the channel. Because other one here, we're going to work with now in the near future. Mr. Vegas is one of the greats in dancehall, even though he doesn't get a lot of recognition for his work. He also has one of the sweetest voices in dancehall, and he's definitely in the top 10 best performers today. But Vegas also walks with a lot of baggages which can be interpreted as very toxic and controversial. Where in my view, every 7 out of 10 times Vegas' name is mentioned within the social spaces, it is not good. Numerous times we hear Vegas talk about his fallout with Sean Paul, and he has laid the blame squarely on Sean Paul's label. So Vegas said on an interview that he don't think their relationship can be repaired after so many years, and maybe he had said something that hurt Sean Paul because he said Sean Paul put out an album with about 21 artists and he never once gotten a call. But he also said if he did get a call, he would have obliged. So Vegas was on the fix and he spoke about how this song, Hot Girl Today, came about.
there are a lot of stories out there with that situation. But none of them is true. None of the stories out there is true.
So what is the true version?
According to you.
I went around Steelia. I was up by Jeremy Island and I get the melody. Right? And I had the melody and I was like, Dan Youth. Yo, I could do a tune like Cocotti and Shabba. Wish one night, wish on him she love. So Dan Youth was like, yeah man, write it. And I was like, I'm to the man, Sean, he had the idea. Yeah. So I went around Steelia and I recorded the song with Sean Paul. I went around and Steelia wanted me to do the song by myself. I said, no man. I have a DJ, him bad. Him sound like Super Cat. I say, who that? I say, I'm using Sean Paul. Steelia bad me for go record the song. I said, no man, wait till him come. So I'm forward. So we do the song and the song I go and go do a video in Jamaica. You know, I get to look.
Yeah,
Who come up with the melody? Boom, boom, shit, who come up with
Me,
that,
man.
I hear a different story, Mr. Vegas.
Listen, you're not hearing no different story.
No, I do.
You're not hearing no different
Does
story.
the name Garth Bennett ring any bells, Mr. Vegas?
You know, so that name will ring a bell.
Yeah.
That name will ring a bell.
Because I'm hearing that a certain Mr. Garth Bennett, who may or may not be related to Hyacinth Bennett,
which may or may
with, jokingly came up with the melody, and they were hanging around you guys. Somebody who sang around.
Who names so though? Who names so? Is an artist?
No.
Who's that person?
Yeah, are you being serious, Mr. Vegas?
No, 100%.
Okay. He's a pilot. And you know Hyacinth Bennett.
All right. You see, if there's a brother that says something like that, maybe it's not accurate about the melody, but in all honesty, somebody walk up at Jeremy, walk into the studio that night, and said something. It wasn't a melody. The person said something. I was the one who came up with the melody.
The melodiousness of what he said.
Right, because I might, you know, say melody, I'm a melody king. Right, them telling me I catch melody out of the ear.
Because it was said that he must have came up with...
The person said something.
Yes, and then you say, you know, say...
100%. So now that you said it, but in terms of the melody, the person walked up in the yard and said something, and it's a good thing you said, because for years me I try to remember where the person come to the yard and said.
Sometimes those things just last to memory.
I get in trouble with that in Phantom Moja, you know. Phantom Moja walk in at the studio yard one day and say, I just love me, I use and go around them, you know. I may say, yo, that body, and do a song name, love and go around them, and the brother burned me out some teeth himself. But he said it.
Yeah.
This is one of many reasons why enough people can't take Vegas, because many times he lie about these situations. He tried to circumvent these things as best as possible. So he's saying he don't remember the time, the day, whoever came up with the melody and stuff like that. Vegas, the people don't like him, but it's not that people don't like you. It's just that you don't tell the whole truth. If someone don't have some kind of evidence, you tell part of the story to make yourself look good. Because you might not remember, say the youth name, the full name, Garth, whatever the name may be. But still, you don't forget where you find money from. You don't forget certain things. A song like that brought you international stardom. You were international before that. You're not gonna forget something like that, where as somebody where all I want to hang out at the time, and it's not like after it happened, you forget. The person coming at the studio and the person with the idea, the melody, the whole works. And on a run with it, and it was a joke to begin with, on a run with it, and it all became a successful song. Vegas I talk about with the Phantom Mojo are something totally different. And if we can remember, Vegas and Tyrical at something like this, where Tyrical I say Vegas and him the dead when Isaiah right and all that, and Vegas dispute that claim, period. But this sound like a trend where somebody else did say something in regards to an idea, in regards to a song, in regards to how the song was written. So these interviews and outbursts by Vegas and how he placed the blame squarely on Sean Paul for doing the video by himself and placed him aside have a different twist to it when Jeremy Harden clapped back on one of his interviews.
I think Vegas got the break international before Sean Paul. But he was telling me that there was a situation now with that same Sean Paul and Mr. Vegas song where I think you guys wanted to put it on his album, but this is where he was going to get X'd out of the deal or something. I'm not sure. Could you explain how you remember that to go?
I'm sorry. Let me start by saying I have nothing but love for Mr. Vegas. His first big hit record I produced and I put him out there, right? So I even spoke to him just the other day, and me and Vegas been cool throughout the years. Very happy for his success and very happy to be a part of his journey, especially giving him that breakout hit on the rhythm so many years ago. When they first did that record, Hot Gal Today, there are some inaccuracies in the stories which I've been hearing, which I've addressed at other times and I can address now. There was a music video that still exists. You can go on YouTube for the song Hot Gal Today on the original Street Sweeper rhythm with Sean and Vegas, right? It's a video that the shot where the two of them put both their money into it. At that time when music video wasn't a thing, this is before YouTube was a thing. We had local video channels here on TV, right? Hype TV and RETV. And we shot a music video. Guys can go look for it. It's like they're riding quad bikes. And they're just up in the riding the quad, the bike, motocross style.
I remember it.
Right, with a whole bunch of riders and stuff. And they did that video and that was a concept and we shot it. The two of them pooled their own money into it and we shot the video and we put it out.
So two up and coming artists, in the business already, and them are do them thing. They have a collaboration together. And because video was so prevalent, no one again, people shot video for them thing. Even though Stitch them and Sand them and Admiral B them and shot video from 87. So this was in the early to late 90s now. Video are shooting, but not every artist shoot video. So them artists have them own money where they could have paid and get one video shoot. They didn't know where the song was gonna go. They just shoot a video, do them thing, and then it looked like say the song I got somewhere.
Vegas used to hang around by the studio the same way like those guys used to hang around because he got his big hit out of there. So he used to kind of hang. He wasn't like a member of the Too Hard or the Dirty Cup or whatever, but he was a close associate, if you want to put it that way, because he had come out of that stable.
Mm-hmm.
They did the song Hot Girl Today. There was a friend of ours that used to come and hang out by the studio, who was a pilot, and he's still a pilot, and he used to, his name is Garth Bennett, and Garth used to enjoy what we're doing up there and used to cut a lot of jokes and stuff when we were up there hanging out at the studio. The skits that were on the first album, the Stage One album, the little skits in between the songs, Garth was like the writer and the mastermind behind a lot of those skits, right? Because a very jovial, fun-loving kind of guy, good-spirited guy. He's the guy that came up with this idea. He came to the studio one day as a joke and said, hey guys, I've decided I'm going to be a dancehall artist. And we're like, okay, Garth, what is this now? And he's like, no, man, I have a bad tune. And I said, what's the tune? He's like, la boom boom chile. I man want a hot girl today. Like that, like a joke. So we're all laughing at him like, Garth, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you're such a clown. You know what I mean? Because he was like, he liked what we're doing, but he's a pilot. He doesn't know. So he's just being corny and stupid, bro. Like, Vegas or Sean heard the idea and like, yo, it's actually a fucking good idea. Develop it into a song and went to Steel and Cleve and recorded it. La boom boom chili, and made it into this record. Garth is the guy that came up with it. Anyway, on Love back then, bro, nobody wasn't really watching anything like who wrote what and who did what. It was just people vibes in and hanging out and having fun. And I said, the man was a pilot flying commercial airlines and he wasn't trying to really be in music. He just liked coming to hang out with us, you know what I mean? I love the scene and the studio.
So according to Jeremy Harding, Garth coined the style, Garth coined the melody, and the whole works. Because Garth's a pilot and not a musician, in forward of the studio, give Sean and Vegas the idea, vice what Vegas say, him go to the studio and write our lyrics and everything. Nobody not really watch money because an idea like that became an international song. We don't know how much money Garth supposed to get off that song, but Vegas said something completely different.
So that happens. The song gets big on the Street Sweeper rhythm. So let's establish that. The song was big, and VP Records decided that they wanted to make it more accessible to the New York club scene because they thought they had a good chance of being a crossover record. So they went back to Steely and Cleve and said, listen, I know you have it on the Street Sweeper rhythm, which is wicked and it's tearing down Jamaica, but it sounds like a funeral march to us in New York, jump, 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 la 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 la, jump, jump, jump. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to put it on a more recognizable beat for the New York club audience. So they told Steely and Cleve to remix a record. So they remixed it and put it on the Punani rhythm, which would be a popular dancehall rhythm that would just work everywhere in the world. And when it was happening, you are correct in that Mr. Vegas was ahead of Sean in terms of popularity internationally. He was signed to Green Sleeves Records in the UK. Green Sleeves' opinion was that Vegas was a big artist. VP was their competitor. And so they thought like, well, we're not going to help VP get any hit record if we can't benefit from it too as well, because Vegas is our artist. Even though Vegas had recorded the song for Steely and Cleve, they were the producers. They licensed the original version of the song to VP, and they did the remix at the request of VP. So VP's opinion is like, okay, well, we're dealing with the producers. They own the master, so they must have their relationship with Vegas or whatever. We're just going to go ahead and proceed. Green Sleeves got involved, and they said, well, no, technically he's our artist regardless. So guess what happened? If you guys want Vegas, you're going to have to pay us $30,000 to be able for Vegas to be able to participate in the new music video and for Vegas to be a part of this new promotion, this new record, new version of the record. Okay? Me and Sean went to Vegas and said, bro, what's with this $30,000 thing? This is a song that we did together. We already made a music video together, me and you. We split all money. Jeremy them organized the video. We had to shoot. It was playing on local cable television. It's all love. You're here. It's all camp. It's one link. It's one place. Why is Greensleeves behaving like this, bro? There's no budget. Sean wasn't signed to Atlantic. He didn't have any money. This is just VP Records. And VP Records like $30,000 for one song for the guy up there. 30 grand would be the money that VP would pay an entire producer for juggling. Sheldon, to put in context. You understand what I'm saying? For 10 songs.
Opposed to one song.
Exactly. To one song to give to one person, never in life would they ever spend that kind of money. So VP like, yo, we can't afford that. You guys need to talk to Vegas. Me and Sean went and we spoke to Vegas with the same reason. Vegas's attitude at the time, incorrectly or correctly, I'm not trying to dig at Vegas like he did something wrong. He sided with his label who he was signed to, which would have been the right thing to do. And be like, no, I know my worth, and this is what I think my worth is. And if they think it's 30 grand, it's 30 grand. So VP was like, well, we can't do that.
So basically, Greensleeve did not want to broker a deal. And because the deal didn't want to be brokered, it started bring some vibes between Sean Paul and Vegas. So he's not saying it was Theme record label. He must say a Sean Paul record label, which is VP. But the first song did already cut for VP because Sean did on it and Steely and Clevie did a cut for VP. So it was VP who instructed Steely and Clevie to remix the song so he can play a New York party. But Vegas sided Theme label and said yes, he know how much he's worth, and him agree to take the 30 grand. So for him know how much he's worth or saying he know how much he's worth and agree for the 30 grand, that's he looking at it more business than friendship. I will not say anything wrong with that. But from right there, so everything start to derail from there. So because VP didn't agree for paying a 30 grand because it's not a juggling and a one song, where it could have been worked out where everybody get a piece, really and truly. But at the time, they never had a look point like that. So the breakdown actually started from right there, so.
So they made a decision to go ahead and just make the record and make the video without Vegas because he didn't want to participate. And they weren't going to pay $30,000 to Greensleeves, who was their rival. And we were basically saying like, well, screw this. Who's the Sean Paul guy? It's really Vegas who is a star. And that was their attitude. So it proceeded. We made the video without him. And they put out the record without him. And they ran all the promotions without him. He's not signed to them. They have no access to Vegas. They're not going to spend money on a budget for Mr. Vegas to fly him up and down to promote the record or do anything. If Greensleeves had said like they'd pitch in and make this thing happen together and somehow share the master or share the licensing, I guess that would have been a whole thing for them to solve. But Greensleeves' attitude was like, we're not lifting a finger. We don't care because we're UK based, bro. They didn't really care about what was happening in New York or in the US. As long as the record was big in the UK. You felt what I'm saying? So that sort of trap that happened. Of course, Sean went on to do other things and eventually get signed and eventually blows up. And the revisionist history of the story is that, oh, we screwed up Mr. Vegas and Sean became a big star and Vegas could have become a star and we prevented him and we stopped him and we didn't include him. And that's not the case at all. It's not we, number one. Number two, it's the labels. Number three, responsibility should have been left at the foot of Steele and Clevie because they were the actual producers of the record. You understand what I'm saying? And they did the licensing deal. So they should have been the go-between to be like, yo, talk to Vegas, his management work it out. Let's talk to Greensleeves because they would have a Greensleeves license and a US license. You see what I'm saying? All of that needs to be tied into it. And then number four, too, is like, I know who wrote the record. The hook, who came up with it because I was there and it was at my studio. So it's also very unfair to state like this thing like, oh, it's my record and I took Sean to Steele and Clevie and I put Sean on my record. It's not the case, bro.
That is the story that Vegas keep telling over and over and over again until Naro called him out. Naro contested what he said and said, no, me never hear it like that. Wham to such and such Bennett. I mean, you never hear about the guy, he must say it's on for me and all that. Jeremy Hardin forward now and say, this is how the hook came about. This is how what come about. It's not like how Vegas said him take it. Because I was saying to myself, if that was the case, the record would be Vegas record regardless. All those words with Sean Paul record would be Vegas words as well. But it wasn't the case. That's the reason why they couldn't have done anything to Sean Paul. Because according to what Jeremy Hardin said, Vegas was lying. And according to how Naro called him out, Vegas was lying. That's what they allegedly saying. He was lying from the get-go.
With all due love and respect, Vegas, I know how the record came about. So it was a shared experience across the board, and it just unfolded very unfortunately because of stubborn record labels. Should have done. Not because of artists.
Business.
Bro, not because of Sean and Jeremy versus Vegas. None of that. All that's nonsense. They did other records together. They did Tiger Bone. They did another record. You understand me? They ended up doing shows together.
So there we go, getting an idea of what caused the bad blood or the feud between Sean Paul and Vegas. But also, Vegas have a mouth, and Vegas didn't tell us, but eventually it came out. We realized that Vegas went to tell Jeremy Harden about him mother, one bagger. And we know, based on track record, say him good like that. He say certain things, certain horrible things, certain nasty things. What am I said to you? And this will even cause one divide between the camp, them and things. And this have to do with Sean being blowed up. Not that him did envy Sean being blowed up, but he thought that he was supposed to be part of that. But in my humble opinion, yes, he was supposed to be part of it. But when your label step in and say they want this and that, rather than you could get everything together and only take full percentage and only help bolster the song and try to work out full cut one or get rather than the money. See Bounty Killer and No Doubt there. Remember Steely and Cleavy tell him say, no. Remember Sly and Rabbit tell him say, do this my general. They were offering him X. You think you be getting all that when get years after and the biggest record plus get a shared Grammy? No, he would not. But at the time, they weren't looking at it from that perspective. They're looking at it, no, 30 grand and thing. And that's what caused the downfall of everything. If you are subscribers, let me know what you think in the comment section so we can talk about it. We've come to the end of another video. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, those who haven't done so as yet. Also, please turn on your post notification bells whenever I make a new upload. You can be the first to be notified. Peace out, bless up, I'll definitely catch you in the next one.